Alright, hello YouTube. Today I'm doing an interlude video. I think I'm probably going to do a couple more years to the Utah Jazz, but I think as of now we are in the finals, or we won the finals, something like that. I'm not really positive what's going on with them. I haven't played in a couple days. I've been really busy, so sorry about that. That's why I'm trying to just get any videos out there about basketball that I possibly can. Anyways, though, the Grizzlies is the random team of the day. I said random team of the day, but I'm not going to be doing this every single day. It's just going to be probably on random days, just as an interlude when I'm not making a lot of videos or, in between playlists, whatever. Anyways, though, Grizzlies, they need to rebuild. They honestly do. There's not going to be anything to push them over the hump, especially not in the Western Conference, so they're done. They really are. They're not, they're a competing team, night in, night out, but they're not competing for that title. They're not competing for anything but probably pride. They're not going to get a great draft pick this year. They're not going to get a bad draft pick. They might be in the playoffs. They might not. I'm not really positive about where their standings are in the Western Conference, but I know that they're probably just like an even-keeled team when it comes to their record. They're not phenomenal. Mike Conley, I think he's 26. Yeah, 26. He is their star, obviously. He's 26 years old, so he still has some time to grow. And he, especially being a point guard, a much smaller guy, his prime will probably come around 28 or 29. And he's already having a phenomenal year this year, as you can see right there. High in points, a low in rebounds, not low, but close to a low, lower, and a high in assists. Actually, no, never mind. He's still doing very well in assist category. Steals, he's doing pretty well in blocks. For a point guard that's at least decent, he's shooting the ball actually really well, surprisingly well. But he's having a career year, he really is. So he's honestly a guy at his age. If he was 28, 29, yeah, I would say scrap him. I hate to say it like that, but I really would say trade him. But he is only 26 years old, so if you plan on rebuilding maybe the next 3 or 4 years, he's going to be a guy that you might want to keep around, see what you could do with him. Zach Randolph, to be honest, he's a decent player. Like, right now, he's a decent player. He was absolutely amazing, obviously in his prime, but he is a little bit older now. I wouldn't say he's had a complete drop-off, but he is decreasing, and most likely just going to continue decreasing. So that's unfortunate for a player that's good, but to be honest, he makes about $17 million a year. I'm not positive, but I do believe his contract is multiple years, and that is really going to hinder him staying on the team. So to be really honest with you, I say trade him. I don't really know who you could trade him to with a contract that big. You'd honestly would just need to get somebody who is either overpaid and young but has potential, an expiring contract, or just a team with a lot of cap room. But there's not a lot of teams with a lot of cap room out there. So to be honest with you, I say Zach Randolph is probably the best bet to go if you want to get something big in return. It stinks because he is such a good player, but I believe he's like 32. Yeah, 32. So he really is only getting older. By the time this team starts doing good, he's going to be 35, 36. If you sign him to another big contract, he's just going to be an overpaid veteran, and it's not really going to be worth it. So, to be honest, get him somewhere where he can get a championship, compete for a team in the last probably 6 years of his career, if he even intends on playing that long. That's probably your best bet, possible scenario for both groups, the Grizzlies and Zach Randolph. Marc Gasol, he is a phenomenal center. He's had a little bit of a drop-off this year. He's about 28 years old. 28. So he's having a little bit of a drop-off this year. Not a complete drop-off, just like Zach Randolph, just a decrease. But he is 28, so that is, for a center, that's about at your max age for priming. So I believe he's already at his prime. I think probably last year or 2 years ago was his prime. He's probably not going to go anywhere higher than what he's at now. He's a solid player now, especially on a defensive-minded team. He really helps out the defensive category in this team. But to be really honest with you, a 28-year-old who's on the decrease or the decline. I don't really see him being a big part, just like Zach Randolph. I don't see him being a big part of this team in 3 or 4 years. I see him as being, once again, overpaid veteran who really doesn't contribute night in, night out like you would really hope to and like he used to. So, to be honest, Marc Gasol, I would really say, is that guy who, once again, like Zach Randolph, has to go, whether expiring contract or prospects or draft picks or whatever. But I think that it really would benefit the team if he went. To be honest with you, he doesn't have as big of a contract. I believe it's something like $11 million or something like that. So if you traded him to, say, the Lakers for Jordan Hill, the basis of the trade would be Marc Gasol for Jordan Hill and a draft pick. Obviously, you have to add in other things, but I think that would honestly work out well for both sides. They'd be getting a defensive center, and they'd obviously perhaps keep Pau Gasol. No offense to the Lakers, but they are a little bit dumb, like the Knicks. They just plan on winning, no matter how much it costs them, no matter how much it really will cost them in the long run, because they're not winning this year. They're most likely not going to be winning until Kobe leaves. That's at least 2 more years. So, to be honest with you, Marc Gasol, I would say probably the best bet is to go to the Lakers. Grizzlies get a good draft pick. They get a solid center. Obviously, it would need to be in a signing trade because Jordan Hill does have an expiring contract, but that would honestly be a good trade probably to do on draft night. Tony Allen, I'm not going to go through every single player, but Tony Allen, probably one of the best defensive guards in all of the league. He's really kind of a player you're not going to see very often. He could honestly guard point guard, small shooting guard, and small forward. So I honestly wouldn't want to get rid of him. He does have a pretty big contract, so to be honest, I would keep him, just as that veteran. Maybe he'll be retired by the time this team starts doing good. Maybe he won't. I just think a player, no offense, but as old as him, would honestly benefit. Same as Zach Randolph, but because of his contract, it just wouldn't help with the team whatsoever. It wouldn't allow, people to come in, new people to come in and do certain things that you would like to. Same as Marc Gasol, but Tony Allen, about $5 million a year. So I believe that older presence would be able to train younger players into thinking defensively on a defensive-minded team. And perhaps Mike Conley would get players to think offensively, kind of balance out the effects. I think that would be good. Courtney Lee, I believe what they have is they have Tony Allen starting small forward and Courtney Lee starting shooting guard. That's honestly what I would do as well. That's probably your best offensive option, but like I said, they're not a great team either way, so that's why they're just doing a decent job. Courtney Lee, he is, I would say, a decent player. He can shoot the 3-ball. He honestly is just an all-around player. He's a jack of all trades and master of none. That's what you would call him. Keep him, trade him. It's up to them. I would honestly say keep him, though. He's younger. Okay, 28, not young, but decent to an extent. So I'd honestly say keep him, maybe trade him, but you could usually, if as a guard, you can usually keep going well into your 30s, so it's not like Marc Gasol or Zach Randolph. I don't think he's going to totally drop off when he hits 30. Tayshaun Prince, older player, too high of a contract, trade. Ed Davis, he's just doing all right year. He's always been doing all right. Not really anywhere to go for him, not really anywhere to decrease to. Even keel player, perhaps backup power forward for the future. I don't really know. He's 24 years old, so honestly, I would probably say use him for the future. Mike Miller, probably trade him. He's had a big drop-off this year. Injuries have been his total downfall, and that's just hurting him all the way. Bino Udrih, I don't know why they ended up either trading or picking him up. I don't know which, but they did something to get him from the Knicks. So I don't know why they did that, but I honestly would say it's really up to the team, but he's honestly just a three-point shooter. He's only 31, so, for a guard, that's not too bad. But to be honest, I don't see him fitting in great in the future. Costa Kufo's, once again, all these players down here, I don't really see them being in any way part of the future of the Grizzlies team unless you're going to be a backup or a double backup or a triple backup, something like that, a reserve, something of the nature of a total bench warmer. So it's unfortunate, but that's honestly the direction of this team. That's honestly what I would do, what I think they should do. I know I did a different thing when I used them in my GM But that's honestly, if I was in serious real life scenario, that's what I would have to do. It's unfortunate, but this team, you're honestly not going to pile together these type of players. Even if we pile together 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 of them, you're not going to pile them together and get something good. No team wants 4 bad things for 1 good thing. It doesn't, 4 no's don't make a yes. That's kind of where that mindset's coming from. So you need to, trade 2 no's to get a maybe, or 3 no's to get a maybe. 3 players who aren't going to be great at probably any point, but you know what they're going to give. They're going to give you decent numbers that are honestly just going to perhaps get a win if they're a double, backup or a triple backup, a reserve, whatever. And you get a player in return that you don't know. He might exceed expectations. He might stay at expectations. It's not really, he hasn't written his future just yet. But I honestly think that would be the best case scenario, to trade 2 no's or 3 no's for a maybe, instead of, because you're obviously not going to be trading 4 people who suck for 1 person who's good. And you obviously don't want to be trading 4 people who suck for 1 person who's you don't know. So, to be honest, I would use these guys in some sort of trades, but for the future of the team, you're obviously not going to want maybes to fill out your starting lineup. So Zach Randolph, Marc Gasol, and Tayshaun Prince are going to round out those good players, hopefully in draft picks, something, via draft night. But that's all I have, really. That's what they should do. That's really what they should do. And yeah, make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't checked it out, if you're interested, check out my my GM playlist for the Grizzlies. I did do something with that, and it was actually a really good team. I don't think I kept it, but I probably should have. It was actually a really sexy team. Not to sound weird, but it was like Mike Conley, DeMar DeRozan, Andrew Wiggins, somebody good, and then DeAndre Jordan or somebody. I don't know. It was good, though. Anyways, though, make sure you subscribe, check out my other playlist, and I'm probably going to be making a My Team video right after this, so check that one out, too. Alright, see ya.